Alright, see if this works a little better. On Sunday I recorded a video that I was going to put up and turned out fairly well, except that the audio was all screwed up every time I started moving because I had the microphone that's on the camera turned on as well as the microphone that you plug in. So all you got was wind noise when you started moving. So I am getting ready to go. Just leaving a client's office here. So, yeah, so what I was going to talk about is the trip that we're going to be taking towards the end of this year. We'll be going in August. We're going, my wife and my older son are going to be riding out there, and just go, man. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna be going out to New York and going to this thing called the Woodstock Fruit Festival. And yeah, so we're gonna take a week riding out there, go from Minneapolis to Chicago, and then we're gonna go to, I think Indianapolis was the second stop, and then we're gonna go to Toronto for a day or something, and then we're going to Niagara Falls. We're gonna stay on the Canadian side because from what I understand it actually flows that direction, so you can actually see the falls from the Canada side. Then they have like a little park and whatnot, so I thought that would be kind of fun. And then or maybe we'll stay on the Canada side one night and the US side the next night, I don't know. And then we're gonna head over to this area called Diamond Lake, which is where the festival thing we're going to is at. And that's for a week, and then I'm not sure what our plans are for the way home, but that's going to be the trip for this year. Before that, I suppose we're thinking like Labor Day or Memorial Day, we'll be going to Chicago just for the weekend. Kind of a demo ride for the boy to get accustomed to the trailer and whatnot again. And then 4th of July, we were talking about doing a run out to the Badlands. It's only like 9 hours. So that is that. And then I was going to talk about our bikes. We all ride Booses, except for the older boy. He rides a Ninja 900. My first motorcycle, first street bike that I bought was a 2005 Phaser 600. It was a great little bike, except the only thing I didn't really like about it was it got to be a little bit vibraty, when you're out on the interstate and doing like 80 miles an hour and the thing's turning 7,000 RPM to do it, It kind of gets a little bit annoying after a few hours of that. Whereas these guys, you can be doing, well, I'm doing 50, 60, let's see, what am I doing? Whatever. You turn like 4,000 RPM at around 80 miles an hour, and it's just a lot smoother. And since that's the kind of riding I do, I really like the Busa. I mean, I like the look of it, obviously, and the riding feel is pretty good. I mean, obviously a smaller bike, 600, 900, whatever, is nicer for the twisties and whatnot. But this thing handles pretty well, and anyway, So I bought an 02. Well, actually, I bought the Phaser first. In 06, Lisa started riding the Phaser, and I bought a older used Ninja 900. It was a 98 that I bought in 2006. I rode that for 2 years, I guess, and Lisa crashed the Phaser up in the mountains in New Mexico. We were about halfway between Silver City and Lake Roberts, New Mexico, and she got going a little too fast, and one of the corners came up on her, and I don't know if she hit some gravel or what, but ended up dumping the thing. I ran down to a Napa, got a thing of brake cleaner and some JB Weld, took the engine covers off and cleaned them up, pulled some of the gravel that had fallen into the engine out, and drained the oil to get the sand and whatnot that had gotten into there through the holes out of it, and basically put some JB Weld on the engine covers and bolted it back together, threw some new oil in it, and she was good to go. Rode another 3,000 miles to get it home, and then we started looking into it, plastics on it and everything else. It was going to cost, well, whatever. The insurance company basically said it's a total loss, and so they just took it, and I went out and bought the Busa and the 02 Busa, and Lisa started riding the Ninja 900, and so I rode that for a few years until 2010. I ended up crashing the Busa, the 02 Busa, in 2010. Lady pulled out in front of me on Lake Street. I was only doing probably like 20 miles an hour at first. She pulled up to a stop sign. She looked right at me. I looked at her and I punched it, and then she pulled out. So I'm like, fuck. So I end up swerving around her, got the bike past her car, but oh, there we go, perfect. I'm a noob. Can't get into first gear. But so I got the bike around her, but I ended up hitting the car myself. Luckily I had all my stuff on, so I had some bruising, and ended up cutting my wrist on her car. My head was wedged under the front end of her car, and I stuck my arm up and tried to push my head out from under her car, and my hand slipped off her bumper and hit the shield underneath, and ended up cutting my wrist. If I'd have just stayed calm, and pushed myself out slower, I wouldn't have cut myself. I would have had no blood. But anyway, I ran to the hospital, and they checked me out, looked at all the stuff, and said, "Up, you're good to go." And Lisa and the kids came and picked me up, and we went to the bike, and Lisa rode the bike home that night. I was kind of sore, just hit a car at like 50 miles an hour. So anyway, but the bike was fine. We got some new fairings. She wanted to have flames and whatnot, so it was a good time. We got new fairings, and the only mechanical damage to the bike really was the overflow hose for the radiator. So new piece of hose and some new fairings, and good to go. And that's when I bought this bike, the 09 Busa. It had been sitting at Hitching Post, it's a motorcycle store here in town, for a couple of years. It was like February of 2011 that I bought it, and it had been sitting there since like March, I think it was, March of 2009. So yeah, it was almost 2 years old, but had no miles on it, had never been ridden. Didn't even have a battery in it when I bought, or when I was looking at it. So I guess that doesn't mean anything. They probably pulled the battery while it was sitting on the showroom. But anyway, so I ended up getting this for $9 grand, and I rode this one for a year, and Lisa was riding the 02, and then the following year I was at the motorcycle show, and they had a 2011 that they were a place called City's Edge had a 2011 booth, so that that was a demo bike for one of the shop foremen or something like that. It only had 600 miles on it, and they were selling that for like $9,500 thereabout with the warranty on it. I got like a 6-year warranty and 5-year or 6-year, I don't know what the hell. I think it was 6-year no interest financing on it. They even threw in an extra muffler can because I asked for it. Because my muffler can on my 09 had gotten scratched. So one of the factory reps was there, and he's like, "Oh, what can we do to sell this tonight?" And I'm like, "Give me a spare muffler can." He goes, "Okay," and just threw it in. I was just joking, but anyway, worked out for me. So yeah, that's how we ended up with these bikes, and I don't know. Yeah, so like this bike is on I'm starting the third year. We got 26,309 miles on it now. So put on a lot of miles every year. So usually right in at 10,000 miles every year. Some years a little less, but you know, especially after we take a trip. Like last year, we rode down to Taos, New Mexico. The year before that, we rode down to, where did we go? I think we went to Angel Fire and some other stuff. And I don't remember. Oh no, the year before we just went to the Busa Bash in the fall, down in North Carolina, Robbinsville, North Carolina. So yeah, that's what we end up doing. Just going on trips and riding around a lot. Most every weekend, if Lisa doesn't work and it's nice out, we end up putting on a couple 100 miles. So and most evenings I'll go out for a ride. Yeah. So I don't know, I've got a bunch of videos to put up, just random stuff, different places we've went on our trips and things like that. So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Told my life story, at least as far as motorcycles are concerned. So yeah, oh, and we do pull these trailers behind us. That's why I had the name Joe Trailer for so long. Decided that that name doesn't quite work out. makes me sound like I'm slow, which I am, but I don't want to advertise that. So yeah, we pull these trailers behind the Busas and the Ninja as well. We've got a smaller trailer we pull behind the Ninja. It could easily handle the larger trailer, but it doesn't. Anyway, so I'll make a video of those later, or else you can just check out the Joe Trailer deal, or else the wife Lisa has one up to called MPLS Woman. I'll put a link to that. There's a bunch of videos of the trailers. And anyway, I guess I'm gonna cut off for now, and we'll post this tonight, and maybe somebody will watch it someday. All right, bye.